Alright, this is going to be an absolute daddy of a week with information. A lot of money to be made. The Elliot waves are finally breaking to the downside. So please check the description for the timestamps of the specific chapters you're looking for. And stay tuned for the actual trade video of when I'll be giving entry, stop, and target posted for a few of the stocks. But yeah, enjoy. Alright, so kicking this week off, starting off with the S&P 500. This is going to be like a perfect week. We have really nice trade setups. We have some really nice flags forming, and we have a ton of news coming out. So this is going to be a week that moves sure. Now, hopefully, I am set up and positioned right to be on the right side of those moves, ideally. But that all depends on how well we read the charts. So here we go. So this is the S&P 500 as usual. I really liked the upside just a little bit, okay? However, I did say this channel, when broken, it kind of cancels it out, all right? And the reason why I haven't deleted this is because, well, I'll show you in a second. But so looking at this would be our C wave, okay? And so this is kind of where it gets a little bit tricky. So we would have our 1, 2, this is our 3, go to there kind of. All right, so it'd be something like that. So maybe just a break of the A or something like that, okay? So this would be our impulse of the first wave of the impulse C. So the C wave is also a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it would look like this. So it would be 1, maybe a 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, something like that. Okay, where we know that this one is an impulse. We have a retracement, which is ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, and then another impulse. Okay, and the reason why I think it's going to go down so far is because this is the previous fourth wave. Fourth waves kind of line up. Obviously, anywhere in here is fine, but I am pretty negative for quite some time. That's why I would have liked it to have come up just a little bit more, just to kind of go past the fourth up here, break that, and then come back down. But this is what I'm counting. Reason why I haven't taken the up off yet, because if we look at the Qs, it has not come into the first wave. If the fourth wave over here breaks into the first wave, then I would take that as a confirmation that, yeah, it ain't coming back up. Or I will like it to break the pivot here. So obviously if it does that, then this is now canceled and we can take off all the ups, get rid of the boxes, and then just look to the downside from there. That is what I'm leaning to, and you'll see here in a second as we go through the markets. Really negative. This is just going to be beating a dead horse. So, but yeah, I mean, got to do it. So here we go. All right, so this is the Dixie or the US dollar. So the US dollar, I would like a deeper retracement. I keep saying that, but it doesn't want to do. I still think this is a fantastic count. However, when these CPIs that are going to hit this week, well, if those miss, then this is as deep of a retracement as we get, just right here. And this will go back up on tear. Heads up for that. I would like it to come down a little bit. If it does come down a little bit, that would mean I have a lot of charts that have areas like right above where they would come down, and then I need that pullback. I need something to get it back up into the area in order to take a trade. So that's what I'm kind of hoping. This can drop just a little bit farther down, take all my stocks, put them into the areas that I need, and then rock it off. That would kind of be the inverse correlation trade that I'd be looking for. But if they don't, then I still have trades I can take, but yeah, it's not as abundant. All right, so this is technology, and this is going to be the exact same thing as the S&P 500 because it has so much influence over the market. So this, you can kind of recount it to where it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a truncated fifth. I don't really like that, but it is a count, so it could be like that and you're done. Okay. And as we gonna go through the stocks, I still think it could pop just a little bit, just because we don't have any of the confirmation of it being like, yo, we're for sure done. And that would be the fourth wave breaking back into the first wave. So if that happens, confirmation says that this would then be a 1 of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way down, and that might be a 1 of 5. So we could be going down quite a lot, but that's a little bit far out. The chart right now is in limbo. It genuinely is. So I will throw on this guy as kind of a 1, 2, maybe 3 breaks, pop back up, 4, 5, something like that. I'm leaving both up here. So this would be my alternate count. Obviously, if this happens, then it's for sure this one, or if we break back up here, then we're showing this other one. So either way, I have it going down. All my counts are really going down. So everything does line up. I would have liked it a little bit higher, but we'll see how this plays out. All right, and jumping into tech, obviously we have the Goliath Apple. Okay, so this is what I'm reading is the fact that I think a B, and a C for a B wave, or this would be an X wave if we have this double zag. The only thing I can really bank off of is this channel. That's what I think we're going to ricochet off of. Obviously it can just come straight through it. This count is still valid, but this is why for the XLK I think it could pop just a little bit higher as well. All right, and this is Microsoft with the exact opposite count. So Microsoft has been bouncing off its channel and it is making flags on the way down. So the 3-day, you can really see that. This one, a complete conflict of what Apple's doing. That's why my overall bias is down. Yeah, so there are 2 different counts here. But this one, I mean, is basically trend trading at this point. It's just whenever it gets up to here, you sell it. And yeah, whenever it comes down to the end of the channel, that's when you get out. So, I mean, this one's pretty simple to figure out, which kind of sucks for the company itself. But I mean, I don't know what they're doing to get all this bad press, because they're not even trying to make a pullback at any point. All right, Visa and MasterCard are basically the same thing. So I kind of missed my count here. But yeah, don't worry about it too much because this isn't trade worthy. I just want to show the flag on the 3-day again. So this one is showing weakness. Same with MasterCard. It's the identical area. So there's a lot of selling pressure in technology, well, in the entire market base. So just a heads up, not trade worthy because the count is all jacked up, but just a heads up that there is a ton of selling pressure in Visa and MasterCard. All right, and this is ADP. So again, have these flags up on the weekly. That is selling pressure. Okay, so I would like a little pop, maybe catch this top one and then drop back down. But this is just to show there's selling pressure like crazy inside of here. This is ServiceNow. Again, have these flags, a lot of sell pressure. If I had to favor one of them, one of the counts for the overall market, it would be down, but immediately down. Like I'm hoping this like just doesn't drop straight down. And then if we don't get any bounce back, it's going to kind of leave without all my orders on. Okay, but that's technology. Let's go to healthcare. Okay, so healthcare has been, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. You can watch like the past market videos of this line being here forever. So it is falling pretty hard, probably getting close to being able to take profits where like you don't want to be on the downside of the market until it shows that it can break through more support. But I mean, all in all, it's working out really nicely. So inside, I'm just going to quickly show selling pressure. So this is UNH. I believe I talked about this one before, and I mean, I'm pretty much immediate. So this is my count. It's just going straight down, basically. So this is your 1, 2, 3, and then obviously I would try to get out before the 4. But yeah, so it is super expensive. I might just like wait, but you'll just want to drop this count out there. This is ABBV, and so I do have the 4th wave, but I just kind of drew this wherever. So this is kind of what I'm expecting is A now over here, the B, which is done up here. You have your A, B, C up here. And then this is your C wave right here. That will take us to the 4th over here. So it kind of look like that. But again, this is just a count. Not a whole lot of selling pressure that I can visibly see. But the count is what backs it up on this one. Cool. And LLY still has its order set up here. I believe this is the A of an ABC. So this one, it might miss and go on its A journey and then come back up to the B and then hit it and come down. But just want to show this one as well. All right, so this is the big one of the week, which is finance. All right, so finance, obviously, I had it popping a little bit more, but I was pretty negative on it ever since I saw this flag. Okay. So this count was good, but not anymore. So this was broken by it. So I think we are on our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like that. Obviously, we'll get this figured out when time comes, but this is what I'm kind of expecting. Now, obviously, this can just drop down and this can be your 1, 2, and then your 3, 4, 5. This is just a rough estimate. If it does pull back, I'll be more than happy to take it. And I am waiting for a couple in finance to come back, but yeah, we'll have to see how everything kind of shakes out. So let's move this down here, and yeah, something like that. Cool. And then I'm going to take this one off, and then this one is is C. Perfect. All right, so let's break this thing open, and I'll kind of show you some of the charts inside. All right, Berkshire Hathaway. Can't really update it. We're still sitting tight. I would like a little bit higher and then come down, or a pullback into this area. And this might have been your pullback, like this might have been it, and then it's dropping, like your 1, 2, and then 3. But I would like a drop below here and then a pullback. All right, this is JP Morgan. JP Morgan could bounce a little bit. I don't see a whole lot of selling pressure build up in here. So this one could continue to bounce where we end up going like that and then we break down. I just haven't seen any selling pressure, and I'll kind of show you what I mean in the next one. All right, Bank of America. We have a ton of selling pressure. This one worked exactly to plan. Okay, ton of selling pressure is shown in here, and then it dropped like hell. Same thing with Wells Fargo. Selling pressure dropped like hell. And these two are the trades that if they do pop back up, I will take another short and then send it back down for this C wave. Like this might be your 1, your 2, and then your 3. All right, Morgan Stanley. So I called tops on this one. I'm not sure which video I said it in, but it was one of the market updates. I called tops. And yeah, this one I'm waiting for a wave 2. And then you can kind of take another trade off of that. I do think there are better opportunities than this, but this one, it does need to break some pivots though. But I am expecting a 1, a 2, and a 3. All right, and so this is Goldman, and I think the train has left the station. So if you're waiting for, I'll catch the drop, I think this one's not pulling back. So this one is your 1, your 2, and then your 3, and then the 3 doesn't get retraced. So if we come down, and then our 4th will probably pop somewhere back in here, and then we'll have that 5th, but I think this one is the canary in the coal mine, and it's going down to the bottom of the channel. All right, and Charles Schwab. So this is where it gets really interesting. So ignore this line, but I had this line drawn for a while, but this line is the equal length of the A wave. Okay, so here's kind of the plan of what I'm trying to do. So this is your ABC. We're on the C wave expecting let me show you. So this is your 1, your 2, your 3, your 4 will kind of bounce around, and then your 5. Okay, and if that happens, that will be the same distance as the A wave. Okay, so I would be buying at 48.44. Okay, and obviously it can fall right through it because you never do this, but I'm wrong at 43.04. So this one, I mean, it depends on how big your balls are, but this is catching the falling knife. Like this is the definition of catching the falling knife. So I'll kind of keep updates on this one as price gets closer to see what formations are happening. Yeah, I would just like to get this out there because it would be sick if this hits and it goes right back up. Okay, and everything else kind of in the finance, it has to have a significant pop, or so all those trades probably won't hit, and they'll probably get run through when this thing flips back around. But all right, and on to energy. So energy is an extremely interesting one because we have price working a triangle, and I know I'm crossing wicks and everything, but I like I said before, I draw stuff super sloppy. I just get the gist of it. Okay, you can drop this up here. Don't really care. So this is a triangle. So after a triangle, I do like a 5th for the final move out of a triangle is the continuation of a trend. Okay, that happens a lot. So I do like seeing that, but, and I'll show you in a second, there's a lot of selling pressure. Okay, so we're flagging out. And inside the XLE, we have a ton of selling pressure popping up. So this one could just be done. So we could be on a truncated 5th, but this might be over before it really finishes, which kind of sucks, but I might have missed my count in here. But better to be quick to flip around than trying to still fight what the chart is showing. So I'm going to prove that there's a ton of selling pressure coming up. All right, and so this is the big one. This is ExxonMobil. Okay, so ExxonMobil is flagging out. All right, it hasn't broken anything, so this could just be like the AXP. It could just kind of float back up to the pivot and then drop like a rock. But somebody is putting on either getting out, taking profit, or putting on shorts. So when something hits, I think when this breaks, it's going to be a little bit too late. I'm already on a sell position in this one, which again, it made another flag. Okay, so I'm in a short on this one, expecting obviously a huge drop. All right, so on the XLE, we were in a huge triangle. This is kind of what I think is going to happen. That's why it's the same flag, but it broke down. Okay, so that's why I really like that second count of it coming back down, just because this one did the exact same thing. And I don't think this is a huge holding, but I think pretty much all energies pretty much are really correlated, so just expect this as a possibility. And then here is OXY, and this one is a huge flag. So if we go to, like, I think I found it best on the 3-week, this one gets massive. So I don't know who exactly is selling, but somebody is selling a ton, which, I mean, like, they got a pretty good run, and it shouldn't be a huge drop. So like, we might just come back to the one. That's why I'm not dropping a trade on it. Yeah, just a heads up, somebody is selling like crazy in this one. But again, that just shows you all the selling pressure of energy and why I'm so negative on it. And I really like that count of going down where that fifth is truncated. All right, so this is the utility sector. And so the utility, let's start on the weekly. And so I think it would be ABC, right, to finish out this channel. And so if that's the case, we're on a C wave, which is our impulse wave. Okay, so if we go to the daily, then we can count, and we might have a 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 3, and then 4 5. Okay, for our C wave. So we might double up here, but I don't think there's a whole lot of room for this to run, since I think we're going to hit this huge resistance right here, and we'll bottom out on the channel eventually. So I think in the short term, a lot of selling, but I do think it's going to get congested and better opportunities will be elsewhere. This is the plan though, and everything in here is pretty much the exact same thing. So I do need a pullback pretty deep in order to find any trades. So if these just drop, no trades can happen. I do need a deep pullback in order to get any trades. For example, this is XL. I'm already in a trade on this one, but I just want to show this flag right here. I need a huge pullback in order to get into it. So I think this is a 1 2 3, could be, but it might be a 1 2 and then a 3. But this is probably the next couple weeks we'll obviously have more information, but we'll just got to be able to see what it's doing. This is XLY, or the consumer discretionary sector. So this is the plan for it. Is I like the ABC to the upside. Okay, and this B, as long as it doesn't break this pivot, I'm okay with it coming back to wherever. And so since this is a B wave, or a correction for this setup, we could then go and find our ABC. So I do still think this is a valid count. However, again, these are two flags with a lot of selling pressure behind them, and I'm going to kind of show you inside there's a ton of selling pressure. So this count might be invalid, but this still is the best count that I have right now, because everything else is just like, we might get an extended fifth, or yeah, I'm not too sure from here. So from here, it's basically trend trades from here on out in consumer. But yeah, let me jump through these charts and show you kind of what I'm seeing. All right, big one, Amazon is showing a huge flag, and I mean, after these, normally they go the other direction. So we will kind of do a different color of the two different counts. I think I was using red. There we go, something like that. So this is not a great sign for Amazon, but it's also like, there's not a whole lot to catch it. All right, so if this one goes, we could be kind of falling for quite some time. Yeah, I do want to shorten this up a little bit, but yeah, so selling pressure number one, this is Home Depot, and this one I had a little buy area on. I didn't take it because it's a horrible formation, but this one is pounding through support. So again, that is not anything to take a trade off of, but it just shows that there's selling pressure, and a lot of it. Nike is the exact same thing. We got these pivots that it's just been blasting through, and it's the exact same formation of a ton of selling pressure. And so this one might not go super far, but I do believe that that's the most likely move out, is down. Booking finally turned back around. So I think, I'm not sure which video I talked about this in. It might have been one of the trade setup ones, but these lines have been here for quite some time. So the fact that it came up, popped in, and then dropped, that gives us, well, almost a double top. So this one is going down for quite some time. So I'm definitely looking for the second wave like that. As soon as I see any seller pressure in here, I'll wait for the break of the fourth and then try and get a grab here. Oh, this would be, my bad, this would be an A, B, C. There we go. So that's what I would be looking for. Same kind of gist as a pullback, 2 selling pressure, and then a drop. Okay, and so this is O'Reilly Automotive. So if we kind of look at just how high this thing is, like it just skyrocketed, okay? So I'm sure the company's doing fantastic, right? But I am starting to see some selling pressure, okay? And we have, if this does break, we have our double top. So I would love a trade to the downside, okay? So I'm looking for an impulse. So this might be your 1, your 2, and then your 3, or it might be like a 1 and then a 2 and then a 3. But I'm gonna put a trade on this, and I think I'll probably put it in my like prediction video. But yeah, heads up for this one, because this one I'm calling it. All right, it's not, doesn't have any confirmation or anything, but I'm gonna say this one has a bad week or a bad month. I'm not gonna get too specific in time because this one's huge. But yeah, it could be people are like, hey, market's going down. I might take my profit off and then just keep it in bonds, you know, get that, whatever it is, 5%, or even keep it in cash. All right. And here is, that looks like a simple name, but I feel like I'm going to butcher it. So this is the symbol LEN and just selling pressure like crazy. However, this one, we zoom out, is on its C wave. So we got our A, our B, and then our C. Would go a little bit farther. So I would like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. Now, whether that leaves here or again comes back up, doesn't really matter. The downside we go. All right, and so this is the industrial sector, or the XLI. This one is kind of in limbo. So it's pretty much the exact same count as the JP Morgan, where I would like a little bit higher and then it to come back down. And I'll kind of go through the stocks really quick of, it's basically this where I need it. Everything has to pop and then come back down. So I'll just cycle through those real quick. So this is Train Technologies. I would like a little bit higher, maybe get a double top in there and then a pop back down. Waste Management. Well, I mean, you can kind of see what I was doing here, but I would like a pop and then a drop. This is General Dynamics. Same thing, a drop. Well, right now it can pretty much pop back into it and then come back down. All right, this is the materials sector. This is the exact same pattern as the industrials. And so this one is a little bit more interesting just because if Powell raises rates, material should kind of get hammered a little bit. Well, not a little bit, quite a lot, but I was kind of hoping for a little bit higher. I think we can be done here, but if he raises rates, material should get crushed. And so we'll kind of flip through the charts just to show you kind of what I'm talking about. So this is ALB. Yeah, not taking a shot at that, but this one's just a pop up and then a breakdown. So maybe we have like a good CPI news or something, you know, and then that drops us up and then Powell comes out and hammers the hell out of this thing. That could be a reasonable trade setup, or at least get us up into this area. All right, this is MLM. Same thing. It has its B wave is done on its C. This is your flag. I need to pull back up into it. AMCR, basically the same thing except on a weekly. So this one, I would like a break of something because that would just confirm this, but just to pop back up and then a turn back around. This is AVY, same thing on the weekly, just a nice pull back up and a drop back down. So pretty simple for materials. All right, and we're back at consumer staples. So this one, I still like the immediate downside. There's a ton of selling pressure in this one. So I do have a few trades that I like for this week that will come out of here. And since they're really my only charts that I want to look at, I'm just going to kind of repeat myself. They'll probably end up in the other video, or maybe I'll just take them on the side. But yeah, so the first one is PepsiCo. This one I'm already kind of short Coca-Cola, so probably might not get a trade on this one, but this one I am expecting a nice drop, and we'll make it yellow. I'm expecting a nice drop off of this flag. Coca-Cola, pretty much the same thing, except if you look up on the weekly, that's where it's a clean count. Next one is Costco, and Costco, it's not tradable right now, but I would like to zoom out. I would like to show that this A is done and the B has been just sitting in a triangle for quite some time. So that is all the way to June 2022 to March 2023. So that C wave now gets moved over here like that. So that's what I'm kind of expecting to happen. That does line up with my buy area pretty nicely, so heads up about that. But yeah, I mean, it's a quality setup. I have tried to take stuff before, so I know that these pivots are actual, or they work. Well, this one somewhere in there. But this is the main pivot that we need to break. So maybe we come down, slice through that, pop back up, and then come back down for that one. All right, Walmart. Walmart has pretty much the exact same thing. It's your ABC. It's on the large time frame. And then as well on the large time frame, this is your flag. Okay, so it would be nice if it breaks this and then comes back up and then comes back down. I think this one has less room than Costco, but it's still a heads up for this area. All right, and this is General Mills. Okay, this one is basically as pretty as you can get. So this one for sure made my trade reviews. So I mean, it's pretty simple. This is your A, this is your B, and then this is your C. So can it go higher? Of course it can, but it could do what American Express did and just popped up to this pivot and then drop back down, or it could just drop from here. So heads up on this one, but yeah, just thought I'd drop it in as well. Cool, and I think this is probably a longer video, so I will make a separate one. Again, I keep saying that, but I want to try to make a separate one for Bitcoin because that one is going to be just a little bit longer than usual, just because it is making some moves. And I might throw in a couple other cryptos that I've been looking at, but we'll see.